Hello and welcome to Mountain Cat News. I'm Kristen Lyons.
And I'm Jeff Reckenwald, here with this week's top stories. A local community college will soon be reopening after receiving a facelift. More on this in a moment. The FBI has updated its most wanted list. Did you make the cut? Find out in a minute. The presidential primaries are in full swing. We'll have much more on them later in the show.
Former Richland High School students attending Pennsylvania Highlands Community College classes next week will hardly recognize their alma mater. Once known as the College Without Walls, Pennsylvania Highlands begins the first semester in its permanent Richland campus home on Tuesday. The opening caps 7 months of whirlwind renovations to the former high school. The total cost amounted to $10 million. Features include carpeting throughout, a student lounge, cyber lounge, bookstore, food service area, learning center, and state-of-the-art science labs. The Richland campus consolidates college operations formerly housed in the Greater Johnstown Career and Technology Center in Richland and the Central Park Complex in downtown Johnstown. The Ebensburg campus will continue to operate. The East Hills Recreation Commission has moved into the former gymnasiums area and will work in conjunction with the college. Camtran has added a new route to serve Pennsylvania Highlands Community College's new Richland campus and Jari Drive. More information can be obtained from www.camtran.com for schedules and routes.
The FBI has updated its infamous most wanted list. In order to keep up with the more than 12,000 fugitives they chase, the agency has, among other things, made the list more accessible to the public. 20 cities, including Philadelphia, will receive billboards listing the current 10 most wanted, and videos will be added to the FBI website showing recent sightings of fugitives. In the past, the list has proved very successful in raising public knowledge of criminals at large, and the FBI hopes these updates will continue that trend. FBI spokesperson Chris Allen says, "We're trying to exploit every opportunity," which he feels is probably pretty surprising for a government agency. As of December of this year, 489 criminals have been recovered since the list was created in 1950, and civilian tips have accounted for nearly half of those arrests.
Announced Tuesday at the annual Macworld Conference in San Francisco, the MacBook Air is the newest and greatest from Steve Jobs, CEO of Apple Computers. Mimicking the 13-inch silhouette of the current MacBook line, it's about 3/4 of an inch thick at its thickest part. Apple calls it the world's thinnest notebook. The MacBook Air includes the usual EyeSight camera, an LED backlit display, an ambient light sensor, and a big touchpad that works with multi-touch gestures, such as rotating a photo by twisting your fingers on the touchpad. Writers and students will be pleased as well with the MacBook Air's keyboard, which is full-size and similar to that of the standard MacBook. The MacBook Air is available for pre-order now, retails starting at $1,799 and should ship around the end of January.
Hi, I'm Vladimir Sidorik here with your Mountain Cat Entertainment Report. A new live-action Star Wars show has been announced that will focus on the bounty hunter Boba Fett. The show will take place in the 20-year gap between Episode 3 and Episode 4. Lucas said that there will be no other main characters from the films featured in the show and is expected to debut in the middle of 2009. The CW will be premiering their new Saturday morning animated series, Spectacular Spider-Man, on March 8th, according to TV Guide. The series follows a 16-year-old Peter Parker who is still new at the superhero game. Many familiar villains from the comic books make appearances, including the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, the Lizard, and Electro. Peter finds crime fighting easy until he is matched with supervillains. Warner Brothers are apparently considering splitting the film version of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows into 2 halves because of the book's length. The cast was informed during the filming of the next installment, The Half-Blood Prince. The production crew said there is so much going on in the last book that they feel it is best to include it all in wrapping up the Harry Potter saga. The ongoing Writers Guild of America strike could claim its next high-profile victim as soon as Warner Brothers' already delayed Justice League of America movie. According to Entertainment Weekly, JLA filmmakers would like another script rewrite and are now debating whether to begin shooting without one. The studio has a January 15th deadline to either greenlight the Justice League for a spring production start, meaning a summer '09 release, or push it into the post-strike time. Well, that's all I have for this week. I'm Vladimir Sidorik, and back to you in the studio.
Stick around after the break for much more of your Mountain Cat News.
Hi, I'm Adam Preve with this week's weather report. I hope everyone enjoyed their holiday break, and I'm very sorry if you didn't, but not really. I could care less. It's January, which means two things in New England. Number one, Tom Brady is being a douchebag, and of course, number two, it's snowing. Areas around southern New Hampshire and Boston could expect to cap 14 inches during this 2008's first big winter storm. Let's hope it sticks around for Sunday at 3 o'clock so Mr. Brady falls on ice and has a career-ending ACL injury. Enough of that, here's the forecast for Johnstown for Friday the 18th through Wednesday the 23rd. On Friday, we have a high of 27 and a low of 21 with snow. On Saturday, a high of 23 and a low of 10 with snow and wind. On Sunday, a high of 17 and a low of 15 with a few flurries and Tom Brady crying like a girl. On Monday, we have a high of 28 and a low of 26 with a little sun. Tuesday, a high of 33, a low of 18 with mostly cloudy skies. And on Wednesday, the 23rd, back down to a high of 28 and a low of 17. So that is your NFL Championship Week forecast for Mountain Cat News. I'm Adam Prevade, and please God, I don't ask for much. Don't allow us to completely freeze over, except for Tom Brady, who we know to be Satan. Let's send it back to the desk with Kristen and my pal Jeffers.
Thanks, Adam. The national quest to keep poor people alive takes another hit. A federal law blocks state and local attempts to provide universal health care. Several state proposals require employers to either offer health care or to add into a public fund to cover the uninsured. However, employers contend that those proposals violate a federal law which bars lower-level governments from regulation of employee benefits. Greg Scandlin, president of Consumers for Healthcare Choices, argues that the idea that the employer is required to provide coverage will be thrown out of court in a heartbeat. San Francisco is the first city to offer universal coverage and is looked to as the legal precedent. Courts have sided with the city after several employees filed suit in 2006, but the ruling is being appealed.
Mitt Romney's much-needed Michigan win leveled the Republican presidential campaign's playing field. Mitt Romney took Michigan on Tuesday, making the race for the GOP presidential nomination wide open. The attention now shifts from Michigan to South Carolina, which holds its Republican primary Saturday. Going into the South's first contest, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee scored a win with Iowa. Arizona Senator John McCain took New Hampshire, and in addition to Michigan, Romney grabbed a win in Wyoming. Recent polls indicate Huckabee and McCain are vying for first in the South Carolina primary. Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani has yet to finish in the top 3 in any contest, but he's largely skipped the early contests in order to invest in Florida and the delegate-rich states that vote in February 5th Super Tuesday contests. Giuliani finished 6th in Michigan behind Texas Representative Ron Paul and Fred Thompson. Also, the Democratic candidates are vying for a win in the Nevada caucus, set to happen on Saturday as well. According to an American Research Group poll conducted January 9th through Monday, Clinton is leading Obama 35% to 32% among likely Democratic caucus goers.
As we enter 2008, America proves that it actually does give a damn about who is running this country. Voter turnout in the Iowa and New Hampshire caucuses annihilated expectations. Enthusiasm for this presidential election is way up, with 32% of people surveyed in a Gallup poll stating that they were extremely excited. Also, 9 in 10 of those surveyed said that they would be largely affected by the person chosen. This year, the younger group has changed from their usual indifferent selves and strongly put their support behind their candidates. Be they Democrat or Republican, for Barack Obama or Ron Paul, voters have made a huge change from the election that almost wasn't in 1996, where barely half the registered voters bothered to turn up. Keep it up, America.